idea that you can start using DeepSeek AI bots to make money online by reselling Etsy optimization services. A lot of people are making money with my strategies. Join the group and you can do that as well. So first of all, what is Etsy and how we can make money by optimizing listings, offering graphic design and stuff like that. 7.5 million active sellers on Etsy. Okay, this is the website, etsy.com. So if you're new to Etsy, basically this is like a handmade marketplace. So for the people who are selling on this platform, we can offer certain services using dropshipping business model to make money online, put in the margin and pocket the difference. Okay, so first of all, what are the services that we can actually offer for those 7.5 million potential clients? So first of all, go to fiverr.com, okay, and type in Etsy SEO. 5,200 freelancers, that are offering different kinds of services, primarily to do with optimizing an Etsy listing for SEO. SEO basically means ranking for a certain keyword. So when I type in something like handmade product, these products somehow are ranking. Why are they ranking? They're ranking because they're optimized for these set of keywords. Okay, if you're new to drop servicing, all we're really doing is, we're finding a seller onto Fiverr, okay, and then we're reselling their service with a profit, okay, to a client elsewhere. That's exactly what I'm going to talk about and how you can make money online using DeepSeek and using drop servicing in this video. So, for example, let's just say this $100 optimized listing, we can find an Etsy seller, offer this exact service and offer it at $200, making $100 from this. If you optimize a ton of listings, you can make $1,000 from just 10 listings. The other thing that you can offer as well is Etsy listing optimization. Okay, so this is the keyword for the basic Etsy SEO, and this is the keyword for the Etsy listing optimization. So like a broad, holistic approach. And the final thing that we can offer is Etsy design. So this mostly is about like graphic design elements. Okay, how the listing looks like, the thumbnails on here as well. All this kind of stuff. So if we open one of these ones, you can see that somebody has designed this. Okay, I mean, it's just simple photos, but other people have actually put in a lot of work into their designs. Okay, here, for example, they are selling digital templates, so there is design elements in there as well. There is like different designs there. So, some people are actually using a lot of design in these Etsy listings, and we can actually offer this as a service. Now, what is really important, now I explained to you what is drop servicing. We're basically reselling other people's services from Fiverr, Upwork, People Per Hour, Freelancer.com at a profit, and this is our potential customer pool. Etsy sellers, I showed you there is 7.5 million active sellers. So that's the amount of clients that you can potentially get. Again, going back to my school group, if you don't believe that my strategies work, just literally join school.com/drop servicing, okay, and look at the client wins tab. There is so many reviews of people making money. $1,800, profit of $1,680 per month. Okay, Tom, please help. They're giving me $2,200. How much I made with drop servicing? Help SAP. Tom has changed my life. My first client. Let's go. $50 web design sold for $600. There is your proof. Now, let's go back to DeepSeek because this is where the entire blueprint of starting this business is. Okay, so step one is, of course, first of all, register a DeepSeek account. It's a new chatbot that came out literally just a couple of weeks ago. Once you have the DeepSeek account, you want to type in this exact prompt: how to start a dropshipping business to resell Etsy optimization and design services to Etsy sellers. Please provide a step-by-step blueprint. It should give you a very, very similar blueprint to this. So step one, research and validate your niche. Understand the market. Research Etsy sellers and their pain points. Common issues include poor shop design, low visibility, ineffective SEO, and professional product listings. Those of you who are following my channel for a really long time probably know that I've tried almost any side hustle under the sun that is online. And I've actually tried Etsy selling as well. A long time ago, many years ago, I sold stuff onto Etsy, okay? And I know just how important the SEO is, which is the low visibility and ineffective SEO. That's why I'm saying that this is a very, very real service that can work and that can make you money, okay? The other thing, how I can prove that, is simply when you go to Fiverr, if you see orders in the queue, it means people are ordering it. And if they're ordering it on here, it means that it is actually of relevance to Etsy sellers. And this Amy and Joe account has 5 orders in the queue with just 234 reviews, which is actually a very, very high ratio. Okay, so this is the problem: SEO and low visibility. Design issues is a lesser problem, but still, like I said, it can be something that we offer as well. So Etsy design services. Likewise, how I said that typically you can make money with YouTube thumbnails. A lot of you guys started offering it as a service and made money. Okay, there's a lot of you guys who were making money with YouTube thumbnails. Okay, got $50 for thumbnails. Thanks, Tommy. Okay, another one, $30 per thumbnail. I hope that some of you guys are going to make money from these Etsy sellers, help them to rank their, their accounts, their listings, and also increase their design and make money while doing so, which is really a win-win situation. Now, identify services to offer. Now, the services I already showed you, 3 services that are the best in my opinion, okay? But there's one more as well. So, Etsy shop setup and optimization. Typically, it's going to be an optimization using my strategy because I'm going to show you how to get the contact details of these sellers, right? And when people are setting up a new Etsy shop, it's actually quite hard to find them. So it's easier to find existing shops and offer services to them that way. Product listing optimization, this is exactly the service that I think is very good, okay? Now, graphic design for product images, banners, and logos, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about as well. And marketing strategy, Etsy ads, social media integration. This is the 4th thing that DeepSeek has actually was ahead of me, okay? I didn't think about offering Etsy ads, okay, as a service. So we can quickly see if there is any sellers on here. Let's type in Etsy ads and let's see if people are actually offering this service. So I will do Etsy shop promotion campaigns to boost Etsy sellers. I will boost Shopify sales, Facebook ads, stuff like this. Right, where is the Etsy one? I will Etsy shop promotion for social media advertising campaigns. Okay, so yeah, there's people offering this service, but it doesn't seem to be an awful lot of relevance when it comes to Etsy ads on Fiverr. So maybe it's a good one, maybe it's not. Next, validate demand. Check forums, Facebook groups, Etsy communities to see if sellers are actively seeking these services. Now, I'm going to do that right now. So, Etsy SEO Reddit, how to rank. So, we're going to do our research in just 1 second. Let's look at this. 11 months ago, okay, what I'm posting is analysis from my husband who used SEO for a website and works for some of the best. So people are talking about Etsy SEO. Okay, everybody's talking about it. Okay, look at how many posts, techniques to rank on Etsy. People are talking about it. Okay, how do you know if your SEO is good? How do you actually increase your shop's visibility and ranking? This is from a year ago. So people are looking for it. This is a real problem that sellers are needing right now. Here's your proof. Okay, now step 2, define your business model. So first of all, dropshipping business model, I already spoke about it. You're acting as a middleman, okay? You're finding sellers, you're putting a margin on top, and you basically contacting clients, offering them services, and hopefully profiting in the middle, okay? Now, pricing strategy. Research competitors and set competitive prices. For example, shop setup $100 to $300, listing optimization $20 to $50 per listing, graphic design $50 to $200 per project. Profit margins aim for 50 to 100% markup on cost of outsourcing. Well, in my experience, typically, I want to calculate in a slightly different way. So, for example, if you're selling something at $200, you want to get your supplier's cost at $100. So you have a 50% margin, not a markup, but margin. Okay, these are slightly different things. Step 3, build your service offerings. Okay, now you need to think about it. If you're actually going to be going into Etsy optimization, SEO, and design, you really want to offer all of these services, because these kind of sellers, right, they're typically are looking for all of these services, right? There's probably a lot of sellers that are looking for the overall package. Like, they don't want to deal with different kind of suppliers. They want one supplier who's offering everything. So all of the niches that we spoke about before, you want to be offering. These are some potential packages that DeepSeek is offering. So shop setup plus 5 optimized listings, shop setup plus 10 optimized listings plus banner design, full shop optimization, 20 listings plus marketing strategy. About the shop setup, honestly, I don't think it's a good strategy, because it's very hard to find sellers who are right now setting up their Etsy store. It's just very hard. How you actually do that, okay? But those sellers that are already on Etsy, we're gonna find their contact infos. I'm gonna show you how to do that in this video. So trust me, it's gonna be very, very valuable. And a lot of you guys are gonna make a lot of money. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe to my channel right now. And also drop in a comment if you ever made money with my strategies. That would be awesome, okay? So next step is step 4. Set up your online presence. Create a website, build a portfolio, set up payment systems. All about this is I'm going to say that you really don't need a website for this niche, because I've basically worked with Etsy, like I said before, okay? And you really don't need a website. All you really need is you need a portfolio. Now, let's talk about portfolio for what you would be offering. So, first of all, I typically say that you want to create a Behance portfolio. That's why you're saving a lot of money on hosting, on creating a website, on dealing with a lot of stuff. Just create a Behance portfolio and create something like this. Okay, so Etsy product listing. So you just put a lot of these screenshots on here, what you could potentially do for those Etsy sellers, and then you can basically share this link. Click on share, okay, assuming this is your portfolio once you create it, right? Copy link, and you've got the link that you can share with your potential clients. Okay, these are like really optimized, really well looking designs that Etsy sellers could be actually looking at. So it's a lot harder to actually show SEO portfolio, right? Because it's ranking in the Etsy search. Like, how are you going to actually show that? Okay, maybe you're going to show some statistics and stuff like that, but it's a lot easier to show like visual graphic design stuff. So, things basically like this, Etsy design related things. Now, the other important part is PayPal. Okay, so you gotta create a PayPal account, because typically these sellers are gonna be from all over the world. So, if you're getting clients from all over the world, like, there's no chance that you're gonna use online payments like using bank transfers and Stripe as well. It's not gonna work in a lot of countries. PayPal is the universal platform that I would use as well. Okay, step 5, market your services. Target Etsy sellers. Join Etsy seller Facebook groups, Reddit communities, and forums. Engage with sellers. Offer great value before pitching your services. I'm really not a fan of actually offering a lot of value and stuff like that for these Etsy sellers. It makes no sense. There is so many Etsy sellers, and we can directly find their emails. That's how we actually are going to target them. I'm going to show you how to get their emails, what to send to them, and all that kind of stuff. So Etsy seller Facebook pages, Reddit communities, and forums. This is very good, okay? And of course, it can work, but you don't need to talk to them that much. Just send them the offer, because they know exactly what they need. And if you offer them something they need at the right time, they might become your client. Use Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok to share tips and showcase your work. This could be a good actually idea, but as you know from my channel, if you watch my videos for a really long time, you're probably going to know that most of my videos really talk about, email marketing strategies, how to actually get dropshipping clients by sending emails, okay, cold emails and stuff like that. So I'm really a fan of just focusing straight on the email, okay, not like having too many profiles and stuff like that. You need to focus, okay? Now, run ads. If you have money, you could do that, okay? Run ads on Facebook and Instagram to target Etsy sellers, but again, it is not easy. Struggling to get sales? Let us optimize your Etsy shop. That could be a pain point, okay? And email marketing, that's music to my ears. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I preach. That's what I do. That's how I got most of my dropshipping clients, using email marketing. Okay, build an email list by offering free resources, send regular tips and promotions to your list. Now, I'm going to show you how to build an email list in this video completely for free without actually doing that much work. It's going to be super easy. Now, step 6, automate and scale. Streamline processes, use tools like Trello, Asana, ClickUp to manage projects, automate client onboarding with tools like Honeybook and Drupal. This is a cool stuff, but honestly, forget about it for now. Just use a simple Google Sheets sheet just like that, okay? DeepSeek Etsy leads. You want to create a sheet like that, okay? Put in Etsy URL, seller name, seller email, and contacted on. You can also put like followed up on, something like that, okay? This is going to be very, very easy for you to start this business. You don't need any of these softwares. Don't worry about it for now. Hire a team? No. Start just yourself. You don't need any people for now, okay? And then we've got 7, deliver exceptional services. Communicate clearly, ensure quality, ask for feedback and stuff like that. This is like a super basic thing that DeepSeek and all these AI tools do, and sometimes it's not super helpful. So I don't really see anything of too much value in there, okay? But here is very, very important. This one, the 8th one, is scale and diversify. This is a good one. So upsell and cross-sell. How would that actually work? So first of all, let's just assume we find a client, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So for example, when you go to Etsy.com, you don't even need to create an account for this strategy to work. Simply go to handmade product, okay? Type in handmade product and search. Now, let's open up one of these listings, right? And we basically want to find, the company behind this listing, the actual, the actual company, not the listing, but the actual company. So let's see. We've got this interesting thing. I don't even know what it is. It's like a plate, okay? Made by Asana Living. So click on that, okay? And basically, it's going to open up the page for that company. So let's see where this company is from. This company is from Morocco. That's interesting. Okay, handmade from Morocco. 3,200 sales. Pretty good, okay? And now, how do you actually basically get the contact details for this store? Now, in some cases, the following strategy will work, and when it works, it's going to work really well. So let's hope that this works, okay? And you literally put it onto Google search. And now, as you can see, you will basically find the same Etsy seller here, sometimes, not always, okay? And you're going to see different profiles. Sometimes you're going to see even YouTube as well. So let's see. Go on more, okay? And sometimes you can see an email there. In this case, it's not there. That's really annoying. But let's actually go onto their accounts, okay, onto their website. And let's see if we can find any of the contact infos to basically contact them. And here it is. Contact at. This is absolutely incredible. It took us literally just a couple of minutes to find our very first lead. This is so good. The website or the Etsy URL. I think the Etsy URL is more important because if you're basically going to be contacting them with different, different services that you can do, you need to know their Etsy, their Etsy account. Seller name is basically called Asana Living, okay? So that's what we're going to do. And then once we contact them, we're going to write when we contacting them, okay? Contacted on, followed up on, okay? So I showed you how to get these clients. This is really, really, really important, okay? Next, tools and resources. Once we have some of these, leads, we need to use, of course, Fiverr to get the suppliers. So find suppliers that are really good, that have very, very good 4.9, ideally 4.9 or 5-star reviews, okay? And a little bit of feedback that you can actually go on to the feedback and read if the feedback is actually good. Sometimes this happens, which is really, really strange, okay? You want to go to the feedback, you want to read it and see what people are talking about these sellers. If there is any negative feedbacks, you want to read that as well. This is not the case. Karen didn't even bother to create something. It's really, really important to read negative reviews as well. This is really, really important, okay? Now, other things, Upwork, you can use that as well to find suppliers, very, very big one. Another one, people per hour. I wouldn't worry about this. Canva, really good for design services. If you're going to be doing some of these designs for free, you can actually use Canva or Kittle, okay? And then all the other stuff is really not that important. So now, I showed you already how to get these leads. Now, I'm going to show you basically what we're going to be contacting them with. So all we want to do now is we want to go to DeepSeek and write this prompt. and click enter. And let's see what kind of message can DeepSeek make for us. I typically actually, rewrite these messages because they're typically way too long. Okay, but let's see. Again, it's way too long again. Please make it 3x shorter. Now this sounds a lot better. So actually, let's copy that. And now go to Gmail, okay, and set up a brand new Gmail account. I cannot stress this enough. You do not want to use your personal Gmails simply because once you do a lot of email marketing, it can be suspended, okay? Now, I don't really like this special offer thing, and it can trigger spam filters 100%. Name, we typically not going to have names of these Etsy sellers, okay? So what we want to do basically is we want to make sure that the font is not bolded and stuff like that. Okay, so I just rewrote this message. Have a look at it now. Hey, struggling to get noticed on Etsy? I can help. I optimize listings, SEO, titles, tags, and design eye-catching graphics to attract more buyers to your store. Let's grow your shop. Interested? Tom, what do you think about it? I think it's really good. Okay, now let's think about, the subject line. DeepSeek AI is suggesting me skyrocket your Etsy sales. I don't think it's a good one. I would actually do something more like what I typically do for YouTube thumbnails and YouTube video editing. Okay, so like I do on YouTube, okay? Now, let's go back to the leads list. Okay, so DeepSeek AI leads list. We got our first lead, okay? And that is it. We got our very first lead. We've got our very first message. We know that the seller is definitely an Etsy seller. We know that they can benefit from the services that we offer, which is Etsy SEO, Etsy listing optimization, Etsy design, and Etsy ads. This is a lot of the stuff that these companies basically need. Actually, I just made a small change putting ads on here as well because as I showed you already, we're going to offer 4 services: Etsy SEO, Etsy listing optimization, Etsy design, and Etsy ads. So that's why I felt that it's necessary to put ads in here as well. All you got to do now is literally click send, and we got potentially the first lead in the pipeline. So hopefully they answer. And of course, the next step is if you want to make money with that, you're going to, of course, need to do a lot more of this research, get more of these Etsy sellers on there, get more of these emails using the exact same strategy like I showed you. You open up a lot of these listings, right? Then you go onto Google, you search for their seller name, and you try to identify their contact info from Instagram, from Facebook, from their website. Okay, this is the exact strategy. This is a working dropshipping strategy. I hope that some of you guys are going to make money with this dropshipping strategy. I'm going to post a review in my client wins tab that you actually made money with this strategy. If you're new to drop servicing, if you're new to my channel, check out my channel. I've got a lot of videos on drop servicing. Okay, some of the videos have got over 20k views. Okay, 19k, 17k. I've been making drop servicing videos for over a year. And if you actually want to learn directly from me, I actually got a 3 months drop servicing mentorship. I mentored dozens and dozens of people in the last year, basically advising, coaching, and mentoring them one-on-one over video calls, okay? How to start drop servicing, which niche to choose, how much to charge, how to talk to clients, how to get leads, all of this stuff. A lot of people have mentored with me in the last year. If you want to apply, the link and the email actually is going to be one of these corners, either here or here. So you can apply there and we can chat about it. Thanks for watching this video. Drop a like, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to see you in the next video.